Parents, teachers, grandparents, and caretakers, thank you for coming back again and again and again. I'm just so excited that you're very interested in your discipleship journey with your children, with your teenagers, with your young people. We've started something, a 7 episode, right? We talked about 1A last episode. The first A was affirmation. We said we catch them doing right, not catch them doing wrong. We affirm all the good things that they have been doing. Today, the second A. The second A is acceptance. What do I mean? Accepting our children the way they are. Now, when I say that, again, people can misunderstand saying, no, they are not very great. Sometimes they go into the wrong places. How can we just accept them? Should we not correct them? Now, when I say acceptance, I'm asking you to accept them with their own strengths and with their own weaknesses. I really love one of my mentors when we had our first child 13, 14 years ago. He said something very beautiful. He said, George, he's a baby, and spend some time just observing him of what is the package that God has put together and sent him into your family. Now, what do I mean when he said package? He said, find out his strengths. Find out the places where he's a little cranky, or see what excites him. See what it is. Understand his personality. Every one of our children have their own unique personality. Now, the problem is this. Many a times we have not accepted them for who they are. We want them to become like someone, and then we accept them, and that's where some of our children, some of our teenagers' inner script gets damaged. I had a very difficult time yesterday when I was sitting with one young girl, just about 14, 15 years old. She kept saying this again and again. She said, my parents don't accept me for who I am. They are wanting me all the time to do this, to do that, and only then I can get their acceptance. I think we need to accept our children. I'm not saying we should not be correcting them. I'm not saying we should not be intervening in some of those issues and intervening and spending time and helping them in some of those places that they go wrong, or they have gone wrong, or they make mistakes. No, I'm not saying that. But first and foremost, the children need to understand, our teenagers need to understand, hey, I accept you just the way you are. You don't have to be me. You don't have to be someone else. You are very precious. You're very special. And I just accept you the way you are. Now, when I say statements like this, sometimes some older parents would just say, oh, George, we have done some things wrong, and I think our time has gone away. I'll spend more time with your teenager, or spend more time with your young person, and maybe just say sorry and just say, I'm sorry. Today I see certain strengths, and the way you're moving on, the way you're doing things, and you're being so fruitful. I mean, just amazing, and I'm just so proud of you. Just cut to that place. Just come to that place and just begin to really accept them for who they are, not for what they do. Today, in our misguided notion is like, you're accepted because of what you do. The Lord accepts us. The Heavenly Father accepts us not for what we do, but for who we are. Acceptance. The first A that we talked about is affirmation. The second A that we talked about today is acceptance. Have an amazing journey with your children, with your teenagers. It is possible. It is possible to help our children, our teenagers, even this new generation, the so-called the Alpha generation. It is possible. Our generation Z, it is possible to reach out to these children. Hey, don't forget, and I want to remind you again of the IDTNG annual conference, Intentionally Discipling the Next Generation, on November 12th. Mark your dates, November 12th. 2022. Intentionally discipling the next generation. What's our theme? Is wisdom discipleship.